Hey Chiefs Kingdom, what's up? Buckle up, because today's update might completely change how you're looking at the upcoming draft. We're just days away, and the noise around this team is getting loud, and not all of it is comfortable to hear. There's a growing consensus forming, but at the same time, there are whispers, doubts, and even a little bit of concern surrounding key pieces of this roster. And trust me, if even part of this is true, it could reshape the entire future of the Kansas City Chiefs. So stay with me because we're breaking down everything, the draft rumors, the possible picks, and that unexpected question mark that no one saw coming. And I want to hear from you as we go, because this one is big. The closer we get to draft night, the more patterns start to emerge, and right now there's one trend that's impossible to ignore. Multiple insiders are locking in on the same exact combination for the Chiefs in round 1. We're talking about a wide receiver at pick number 9 and a cornerback at pick number 29. Not just one analyst saying it, several respected voices are lining up with the same prediction. That doesn't happen by accident. And you have to ask yourself, is this coincidence? Or is something leaking behind the scenes? Because when this many people are on the same page, it usually means there's some real smoke here. Let's start with that wide receiver buzz, because this is where things get really interesting. The name being tied heavily to Kansas City is Jordan Tyson, a dynamic playmaker with serious upside. There's already been chatter about him before, but now it's gaining momentum fast. And here's the key detail. His upcoming workout could make or break everything. That's the moment where the Chiefs will decide if he's truly worth that top 10 investment. So let me ask you, would you take a receiver that high? Or do you think this team has bigger needs? Drop your thoughts because this decision could define the offense moving forward. Now let's flip to the defensive side, because the second name popping up consistently is Colton Hood, a cornerback who fits exactly what this team likes. Long, athletic, scheme-friendly, he checks the boxes. And here's something important. The Chiefs already brought him in for a visit. That's not random. That's interest. Even if fans don't love the idea of drafting another corner early, the reality is this. The team needs depth at that position. And not just one piece, possibly multiple. Here's where it gets real. Building a secondary isn't just about stars, it's about numbers. The Chiefs need bodies just to run off-season programs properly. And while the coaching staff has done a great job developing talent, you can't rely on magic forever. At some point, you have to reload. So drafting a corner like Hood in that late first-round range, it might not be flashy, but it could be necessary. But now, let's talk about the part that made everyone stop and go, wait, what? Because suddenly, there's talk about uncertainty surrounding Josh Simmons. Yeah, that caught people off guard. When an insider questions a recent first-round pick, especially one tied closely to the front office, people start paying attention. Now, let's be clear, this isn't panic mode. But the comments raised eyebrows for a reason. The suggestion was simple. Maybe there's not complete confidence there yet. And when you hear something like that, it opens the door to bigger questions. Is it about his recovery? Is it about depth? Or is it just draft smoke? Because from everything we've seen, Simmons is expected to be ready. His injury, he's recovering. His situation off the field, addressed. And multiple sources have made it clear. There's no ongoing concern right now. Still, when doubt gets introduced even a little, it changes the conversation. Let's not forget what happened last season. The offensive line got tested hard. Depth became a serious issue, fast. By the end, the team was digging deep into backups, and that's not where you want to be. So even if Simmons is fine, the Chiefs might still be thinking, we can't let that happen again. And that brings us to a very real possibility. What if they go offensive tackle early anyway? Not because of panic, but because of preparation. This front office knows better than anyone how quickly things can fall apart at that position. One injury, two injuries, and suddenly your entire offense is under pressure. So adding another high-level tackle? That's not overkill. That's insurance. And guess what? There are already names being linked to Kansas City in that range. One of them is Monroe Freeling, a prospect with serious upside and long-term potential. Some believe he could have been an even bigger name if he stayed in school longer. That kind of talent doesn't come around often. And if he's there at pick 9, That's a tough decision to pass up. There's also interest in other tackle prospects, and that tells you something. This team is doing its homework. A lot of it. Meetings, visits, evaluations, they're digging deep into this class. Which raises another question. Are they actually planning to draft one? Or is this all part of the game? Because let's be real, smokescreens are a huge part of draft season. Teams show interest in one position to manipulate the board, to push other players down, to create opportunities. And the Chiefs? They're not new to this. They've played this game before and played it well. Another key detail to keep in mind is the physical profile this team looks for in tackles. There's a specific standard, especially when it comes to arm length and size. And not every top prospect fits that mold. So even if fans are excited about certain names, the Chiefs might see things differently. And that could completely change who ends up on their board. At the end of the day, this draft feels different. There's pressure, there's uncertainty, and there's a clear need to get this right after last season. The margin for error, it's small. And every move they make, especially in round one, is going to be under the microscope. So here's the big question, Chiefs Kingdom, do you trust the direction this team is heading? Would you go receiver, corner, offensive tackle, or something completely unexpected? Drop your take right now. I want to hear what you would do if you were making the call. And if you're as hyped or as nervous about this draft as I am, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and share this with your fellow Chiefs fans. Because things are about to get crazy, and you do not want to miss what happens next.